Your time has expired. Senator Canavan.
Thank you, Mr Acting Deputy President. And through you, Mr Acting Deputy President, what I think is a disgrace is that the Australian Labor Party are abusing the vulnerabilities of parents with disabilities to tell things which just simply aren't true. There is a disability loading right now. There is a disability needs-based loading right now. There is one right now. Indeed, Senator O'Neill, I actually have, through you, Chair, Senator O'Neill, I actually have been to a school in the last couple of months. I'm sure you have too, but you didn't refer to any actual evidence on the ground in your contribution. I went to one during the state election campaign with a state member in Bundaberg called Stephen Bennett, and there in Queensland, during 2014, that school received hundreds of thousands of dollars more money to provide more services for disability funding. And that was rolled out through what we call here Gonski, but I think in Queensland they call it the Better Schools program. And it was focused on providing disabled students with more services and more resources and more teacher time. That has amounted to $1.2 billion this year alone in funding for disabled students. Is that enough? Is that enough, Chair? I don't know. Perhaps it's not enough. Perhaps I'm sure we would always need more money to help disabled children. And I'm sure those parents are, but Senator O'Neill, through you, Chair, Senator O'Neill, what I have a problem with is we have had a bipartisan agreement to do more on the NDIS, to put more money. Hang on, to put more money into schools. We have, and you over that side of the debate don't want to contribute and don't want to coordinate and don't want to cooperate on something that we all agree must happen. You don't want to cooperate. You just want to play politics. You want to play politics with people's lives, with disabled children's lives, and I find that disgraceful. I find it absolutely disgraceful because this year we are providing $1.2 billion more. We're providing $1.2 billion more, and that is funding more services. Now, I'm sure more can be done, but you know, when I hear the arguments from the other side, Mr Acting Deputy President, what I'm reminded of is my kids. That's who I'm reminded of, because my kids are just like the Labor Party. They want everything. They want to eat lollies for afternoon tea. They want to play computer games all night. I'm about to go home, hopefully this week doesn't go too long, and I'm about to go home and I'm going to build a new computer with my son, and he'll want to play computer games all weekend. He'll want to play computer games all weekend, and I'm going to have a monumental battle with him to say, no, you can only play 4 hours at a time, you have to do your homework and other things as well, because that's what responsible people do. So yes, you can have fun every now and again. Yes, you can have a few sweets every now and again, but you've also got to worry about your weight. You've also got to study for your future and put away for a rainy day. But the Labor Party, they don't think like that when they come down here. They act like kids in this place because they want to have everything. They want to have more money to spend on services for disabled children. A noble cause, but we don't have an unlimited amount of money. They want to spend more money on the NDIS. They want to spend more money, we heard Senator Singh, so we need more money for foreign aid as well. Where are they going to fund all this from? Because the reason we've had to make some tough decisions in the last year, the reason we've had to make those tough decisions is because you guys wasted all the money. You spent billions and billions of dollars on things we couldn't afford, and we now don't have money in the bank to do all these things we'd love to do. Because, through you, Chair, Senator O'Neill, you are complaining about cuts to the foreign aid budget, which simply are the same thing you did in your last budget. Actually, it might have been your second last budget. I'm sorry, Mr Acting Deputy President, it was 2012-13. You cut $2.9 billion from the foreign aid budget in that year. And now you come back in here with no sign of hypocrisy, sanctimoniously saying, oh, isn't it terrible that we're not spending more money on foreign aid? You did it. You did it 2 years ago. And it is unfortunate we can't give more money to the people overseas that need more, but we can't give it because of the spending decisions you made when you were in government. And you wasted billions and billions of dollars. We heard in question time, just in one area, we wasted $11 billion, Senator Cash reminded us, on processing offshore arrivals. A problem that was completely created by the policies of the Australian Labor Party, and we wasted $11 billion on that. Wouldn't it have been nice to have $11 billion to spend on services for disabled children? Wouldn't it have been nice to not have to cut our foreign aid budget as much as we've had to do if we had that $11 billion? But you did that, and we can't get that money back now. We have to pay it back. We have to pay it back to those that we borrow money from overseas, to the Chinese government, to oil barons in the Middle East. That's where we borrow money from. All of that money has to be repaid now that you wasted and unfortunately that means we can't fund all of the things we'd like to do, including in the disabled space, in the health space and the education space.